Yes, I have a great deal of trouble imagining myself as an old lady. I tend to think I'm just beginning. I'm just about to discover the secret. Playing Gigi really was an enormous gift. And Fanny is just one of the great romantic parts. I love playing Lili, and I love the glass slipper. Well, An American in Paris, that's where I got my start. Just imagine the thrill of working with Cary Grant, the great Henry Fonda, and Orson Welles. And I got to dance with Jean Calais and Fred Astaire, the two greatest dancers in the world. That was such a perfect situation. The whole world wants to be a movie star in Hollywood, and I did not. Jean Calais came to Paris to meet me, to make a test with me and see if I could be his leading lady in An American in Paris. I said jazz. I don't know jazz. I don't dance jazz. Just to be polite, I said, okay, I'll do the test. You know, polite. And so we did the test, and I promptly forgot about it and thought, all nonsense. Then 2 weeks later, there was this phone call. You've been hired to do An American in Paris. You're leaving in 3 days for Hollywood, and a contract of a 7-year contract. Huh? But that's not what I'd planned. This is my birthplace. My grandparents built this house. You see these very tall windows there. That is the living room, which is on 2 floors. And coming down was a staircase with a fish tank going all the way down. Something, you know, magic, something so exotic for a child. Oh, we had such wonderful wars there. Indians and Americans and Tarzan, and it was magic, it was wonderful. And I played with all the boys. I was dreaming that one of them would get wounded and I would take care of him. I was the nurse, you know, all that sort of thing. And when the war started, I thought, what's the big fuss? Wonderful, I can wear a nurse's uniform and take care of the soldiers. This is Les Champs-Élysées. On Sunday, they would march up Les Champs, and us French people were humiliated and hostile in response. Even as a child, I remember the feeling of hatred. I cannot stand the goose step. I cannot stand people marching like military precision. I cannot stand even to see the pom-pom girls. It reminds me of the German parades. Busby Berkeley. I cannot bear Busby Berkeley. I don't like those formations of swimmers. It's too military. Yes, this is where we lived during the war. Est-ce que vous êtes bien avec la concierge?
Mezzo mezzo. Mais enfin, bon, elle est intéressante.
Elle est un peu remontée, elle ne veut pas nous laisser filmer, là.
Ah, ben attendez, j'y vais.
Bon.
Non, mais attends. Mais non, mais elle voudrait filmer. Elle a dit ici. Pourquoi? Alors, je téléphone à 5 minutes. Alors,
When the Germans were occupying Paris, it was easier to enter into the building than it is now.
On va voir le bûcher là.
Merci.
Ils sont là, quoi, mais je vais appeler la police. Je vais appeler la police.
She's mad. During the war, the apartment was just so sinister and getting dustier and dustier. And it just was a sad place. My mother became very depressed, and she didn't really get up, didn't really get dressed. And during the whole war, she actually took to her bed. I was not to expect tenderness, motherly behavior. She never took me to school, never took my hand to cross a road, never. She'd tell me, sweetheart, I know I'm not there now, but I will be there when you are a star. Which is a very odd thing to say to a little girl. So I understood there was only one thing for me to do if I wanted my mother to be around, to become a star. Yes, I remember the feeling of space and ownership. You were on the stage, and it was just fabulous. You could hear them think, you could hear them look at you. It was all those brains concentrated on you. It was something that you never forget. 16, imagine. 16 and being thrown into this circus. Well, I found myself very comfortable. It was warm, all those human beings there, staring at you. Sometimes you could see diamonds, jewels, glittering. It was lovely. And then at the end of the number, this sort of thunder, like rain, applause. I thought, oh, that's what it sounds like. I announced to the family that I wanted to become a professional ballet dancer. And I heard my grandfather whisper, Margaret, do you want your daughter to be a whore? Voulez-vous que votre fille soit une putain? Very, very strong words, and I heard them. I don't think he meant for me to hear it, but I heard it, and it had an enormous weight on my shoulders throughout my career. I felt that I was in a very inferior profession and doing something very despicable, and I was, quite ashamed of what I was. The second season, I guess, I was something like 17. I was given a solo ballet. We were doing Oedipus and the Sphinx, and guess who was the Sphinx? The fact that I was given that part, this incredible luck, I mean, of all dancers in the world. And that is the night Jean Calais was in the audience, and I was chosen to do An American in Paris. My mother said, well, You know, this is the kind of offer you cannot refuse.
From high in the hills, the city below looks like any other sprawling metropolis. Yet this one is different. Its fame has spread to the four corners of the earth. For this is fabulous Hollywood.
Of course I was starstruck. Of course I was. I can't tell you what an effect when I met Vivian Leigh, Cary Grant, Marlon Brando, Elizabeth Taylor, Ethel Barrymore. Ethel Barrymore. Esther Williams, yes. Esther was rough. Swore like a trooper. Naturally, Judy Garland, my favorite. Judy was real sweet. She hugged me, kissed me, and said, "Good luck, honey." Gene Kelly was passionate about the technical side of filming. He loved the camera, he loved the gadgets, he loved the lenses, he loved all the things you could make a camera do. He had this mathematical technician's passion. He knew how to place dancers this way, that way, up, down, all that. And the imagination, it's a kid's imagination. And that's what he had. For instance, every time I see the beginning of An American in Paris, and he does that waking up number, and this room is folded up, lifted up, things open, things are on the table. It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and his coffee is ready. It's absolutely breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. Well, that's games. It's kids' games. I must say I did not enjoy making An American in Paris for several reasons. I felt very disadvantaged because I had never worked in front of a camera. And then I didn't speak English, so a lot of it I had to repeat the inflections that Gene Kelly would give me.
I only let you do this because I didn't want to make a disturbance.
And I don't have a wife. I just threw that in to make it look respectable.
Oh, that was very considerate.
As far as the dancing is concerned, first of all, it was a cement floor, which doesn't give when you jump and is very hard on your legs and your ankles. And also they used to paint it flamboyant, shiny colors, which made it slip. And it makes you fearful. Are you going to slip and fall? So all that made it a very difficult job for me. Everyone was invited to come to a showing outside of LA. There I was with everybody else, the first time seeing myself on the screen. And I felt absolutely awful, sick. And Gene said, "How do you feel?" And I said, "Oh, Gene, I've got the flu, I think. I feel really terrible." And he said, "No, honey. You don't have the flu. You've just seen yourself on the screen for the first time." When you were first hired, the salary started very low, just about what a secretary got. It seemed a lot to me because it certainly was more than I got in the ballet. And after the deprivations of the war, it seemed, quite a lot. You could buy a whole dress, you could buy food, you could buy bananas. Also, I did give ballet lessons I don't think many stars do that nowadays. Have to give ballet lessons to keep going in between films. When you see other versions of Cinderella, all those young ladies are, you know, lovely with lashes and pink cheeks and so on. And I played it with soot on my face. I cut my hair in ways that the studio didn't approve, but I just wanted to look scruffy and rebellious. Well, I took every part very seriously. And to me, Ella is a rebel, is a little rebel. She is angry.
I'm not ugly. You're ugly. You smell of button. You have a big fat popo. And you have a voice like a pig.
The film that inspired me and was an influence on me during that film is On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando.
You're a cheap, lousy, dirty, stinking mug!
I must have seen it about 20 times. So I played this little rebel, I thought, as Marlon Brando would play her.
No, that's just why I'm running away. I can't bear to live here.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender.
He would have laughed. I never told him. I did one after the other. I finished The Glass Slipper on a Saturday and started on Daddy Longlegs on the Monday. When I was in training as a child, my mother used to say, go and see Fred Astaire's films. He's the best there is for timing. Jean danced closer to the ground, and Fred was sort of 1 or 2 feet off the ground. He had this lightness and elegance. Fred used to say, look at my hands, you know, enormous hands, and he would sort of do this with his hands so they wouldn't look so big. And really, when you danced with him, you knew where to go, right or left, because his hand in your back was giving you directions.
Stay with it. Yeah, yeah.
MGM was really like a big school or factory, if you will. You were told how to behave, and very often you were given a leading man to go out with. They would say, on Wednesday night, there's a big premiere, and so will come and get you. Made you very nervous, because there you were spending an evening with somebody you didn't know. And I was just so shy. It really was very difficult. It was the period when the newspapers needed glamour shots. So everybody was made to do that. You were put on a bicycle, they would rent a boat, you were on a yacht, you know, in a bathing suit. All those things were completely made up. Yes, we were told to always pull one shoulder back and lift your chin. And when you sat, you know, all that sort of thing. We all did that. Whether we were good or bad actresses, everybody had to play that game. And, of course, the legs. You had to show your legs. And losing one shoe was... you would be on a chair and one shoe was off. I mean, There was a lot of this soft porn element. And finally I found it really humiliating, and I said I wouldn't do it anymore. I was so lucky to get the script of Lili. I took hold of the script and together we worked on it. Lili was a bit of a half-wit, found herself in a town completely on her own, no money, no job, no family. It was a character that reflected very much the way I was thinking at the time, just a poor little orphan lost in this unknown country and trying to survive. And I could remember that it was my war experience that made me play Lili rather well. I was very believable as this wounded little animal who has lost everything. In the beginning of the film, she wants to kill herself. She sees a ladder and she starts going up. Life is over. Maybe she will jump. And then there's this little funny voice, high-pitched voice.
Hey!
What is your name? You know.
Come over here.
And to her, the puppet becomes a person.
A song of love.
The little puppet asks her to sing with him, and it's the start of the film.
Hi, Lili, hi, Lili, hi, low, hi, low. Hi, Lili, hi, Lili, hi, low.
Lili, to me, was going absolutely wonderfully well. I didn't realize that I was the laughing stock of the studio because I was very unglamorous. And so Arthur Freed, the great producer, came to see me on the set. And he said, Leslie, I've got to do another film with you to bring back the glamour that they are destroying right now. Oh. He said, I've got to do another film with you. Have you any ideas? So I threw up one or two ideas, and then I said, Gigi. So here we are in the Bois de Boulogne. This is the first scene in the film and the first scene we filmed.
Thank heaven for little girls. 4 little girls get bigger every day. Thank heaven.
Thank heaven for little girls. They grow up every day in the most delightful way. It was a long, very difficult day with all the carriages, all the costumes, the hats, the makeup people, the crew. It was a very, very big thing to shoot. Difficult, but great fun. This was the first time a big producer in Hollywood decided to do a musical in the real locations. And the problems were enormous. The sound, airplanes going over.
I don't understand the Parisians thinking love so miraculous and grand.
There were lots of cars and there were television antennas.
I don't understand the Parisians.
But the result is you cannot match the beautiful sets that are throughout Paris. So here we are in the Jardin de l'Observatoire, the fountain, in front of which Gaston, Louis Jourdan, discovers I'm really the most desirable, enchanting young lady, and decides I'm the one for him.
Oh, no, I was mad not to have seen the change in you.
Maxims, the Maxims of Paris. Absolutely magic, historic place. We had about 150 extras, all the tables crowded with all those beautiful women with enormous hats, and all the crew, electricians, soundmen, and so on. It was so crowded. The tempers were very short, especially Vincent Minnelli, the director, was extremely worried about the quality. He wanted everybody to be animated. And when we started doing our scenes, Louis Jourdan and myself, he really was very frustrated. And the head waiter was taking us to our place once, twice. We did the scene about 4 times. And finally, Vincent Minnelli exploded and said, "Can't somebody teach that man to hold the menu?" Silence. And then somebody, the first assistant, came and said, "Mr. Minnelli, this is the real head waiter." Of course, there were things that I knew, which nobody else on the set knew. Vincent Minnelli didn't know what to do with a cigar. I was somebody who had seen my grandfather choose a cigar. So I knew that you smelt it, I knew that you tried for freshness. I'd seen men do that. So I said, this is the way one does it. And he was delighted because it came out just like a prostitute would do. I suspect there was a censorship problem. Because the story, basically, which a lot of people have forgotten, is the bringing up, the education of a cocotte, a lady of ill repute.
Oh, Gaston, that's beautiful.
I don't want to say a bad word, but anyway. So I think this is why he turned it into a musical, in order to sort of drown the fish, so to speak.
Please, don't be vulgar.
Now she looks adorable. So fresh, so eager, so young.
It's true that mothers took their daughters to see the film without realizing that, in fact, she was being educated to.
May I come in?
Yes. She lives in this calculating, sordid background where you have to obtain things from men. And she is as pure as a diamond. She just wants to give joy and receive joy. She strives towards happiness and succeeds. She's not going to accept the domination of man. And it's this fierce independence that people recognize, which is very winning. The reason why the whole world loves the character of Gigi is because she gets her way. There came a time when I felt if I stay in Hollywood, I'm going to shrivel, I'm going to not grow anymore. Women were kept in a very inferior position, better to be brainless, better to never discuss anything. I wanted to see far more of the world than was available in Hollywood. At that time, I met Peter Hall and was so definitely in love with him and impressed by his theater, by his work, and by the movement of theater that happened in England at that time. I wanted very badly to be part of that, so I broke my contract and moved to England.
Peter, you're a director married to a star. How many times have you directed your wife in her work?
Only once, actually. Leslie came to London to star in the stage production of Gigi. And we met then and then subsequently married.
Leslie, does this mean that you finally put roots down here in London?
My roots are wherever my husband and children are, really.
I do remember, before we were married, one conversation in the car where he said to me with great surprise, "But why do you want to keep on working?" Barely had we married that he wouldn't let me work anymore. And to me, it was like cutting my arms and legs.
Ah, the children.
Oh. Hello, Christopher.
Bonjour, monsieur.
I am conscious that I had a very privileged childhood, and I met and witnessed extraordinary people at work and at play. Some people might say, oh, you know, there were negative aspects to it, you know, divorce, separation from parents. But given the characters that they were and their driving ambitions, I suspect they wouldn't have stayed together, no matter what. There's not many sort of high-powered showbiz couples that stay together.
I still feel guilty for having moved on and left him. I think my children suffered, and had I been cleverer, had I been stronger, I could have manipulated or maneuvered or insisted on having both the marriage and the life I wanted in the arts, but I did not have the strength to achieve that. The Airship Room was an enormous film for me. It was the novel of the year and the project of the year, British cinema. And of course, the part was written for an English girl. And the producer offered it to me.
Listen, what's an accent? What accent have you got?
French, I suppose.
Are you French, are you?
Yes. It's odd, but French people often do talk with a French accent.
It was a heavy film to do. Lots of dramatic scenes, lots of scenes with a dark mood. That was the first time I was doing that. So I asked Brian Forbes, the director, and I said, "Brian, I rely on you to wipe the Hollywood smile off my face."
I'm pregnant. It's all right. Don't be so worried. I'm not going to make a scene.
I had had at least my son, and I was able to put in a lot of realistic details about giving birth, which nobody had ever done on film. At that time, film was very discreet about delivery, about pregnancy and delivery. And you saw a tiny little bulge, and maybe the dress was a bit fuller here. I remember in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, you see Jane Powell.
Because I'm going to have a baby.
She says, "I'm pregnant," and the waist is just as slim and lovely as ever, and that's the way it was done. But when we were shooting, I came dawdling in. One of the top gossip columnists of Hollywood had come in.
What's wrong?
And I heard her go, "Oh!" When she saw that I was really very realistic. She thought, "This is so shocking, a Hollywood star." That worried me, of course, but I took the chance and thought, this is what one must do.
He's a girl.
He's a girl. He's a girl.
That was my first grand dramatic part, and that's what I wanted to do.
that's Leslie Caron. Ain't she a peach? And there's Warren Beatty. She drives him crazy in this picture.
What's the name of it, anyway?
Promise her anything.
We really must accommodate the fact that a woman needs a lover.
True, very psychological.
Warren was a delightful companion for 2 years. But throughout our relationship, I felt a great sense of danger. I'm somebody rather staid. I don't like the wildlife. I don't like excessive fame and excessive public life, whereas he absolutely reveled in those circumstances. I was out of breath throughout. Those were the days when I didn't have the children. They had to go to their fathers, so I felt desperate, quite desperate. I couldn't see them, play with them, be with them, yeah. And so I would give a party to fill in the gap. We went to see François Truffaut. Warren wanted to meet him. He wanted to do Fahrenheit, and François said, no. But if you want to do a film together, there's one script that I cannot do.
Hey, what's your name, anyhow?
Clyde Barron.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Parker.
And the one person who advised him to go ahead, go for it, was me.
Yes, there's a stick-up.
He feared that it was a Western, and Westerns were not popular at that time. I said, it is not a Western, it's a gangster story, and there haven't been any for a while. It'll be fantastic, go for it.
Don't you ever just want to be alone with me?
Well, I always feel like we're alone.
Do you, baby?
I'm hungry. Hey, Buck.
Then he told me I wasn't right for the part. He said, you're too old, because you're older than me. I was 5 years and a half. So, it was quite a shock to begin with, but I think he was right. I mean, that relationship could not last. Indeed, could not. Warren was still like a bee with every flower, plucking the honey. And he was a little too over-possessive, and so we parted. My brother called me to say that our mother had died. She had decided not to live anymore, but I don't think it was the first time. I think she was often near taking the steps and I think it was a spur of the moment thing. She just, this minute she couldn't live. So this minute she wanted to end it. Living with a depressed mother who eventually killed herself makes it very difficult to be strong. I think I have been depressed for many, 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 many years. You sort of feel there's a curse on you, a malignant curse, and you are going to follow the same pattern. And at the age of 67, I was taking the same route.
Yeah, she's tough on herself about, her experiences with alcohol, with prescription drugs and things like that. But, heroic in combating that and overcoming that. She is an addictive personality. And perhaps another aspect of the work is that it's an addiction.
I played the mother in Louis Malle's Damage. And I played the most deadly aspect of my mother in that part. I'm sure Anna's told you.
Told us?
About the brother she had.
Mother.
I had this sort of shadow of the dark side of my mother.
Do you think it isn't bad enough? Do you think I constantly need to be reminded?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sure. Perhaps this is why we shouldn't meet. Yes, I spent all my life repairing what my mother didn't get the chance to do right. My mother wanted to write, so I wrote. She wanted to be a dancer. I became a dancer. She wanted to be a star. I became a star. She wanted to be world famous, so I became world famous. And when it was too hard, at that moment, I had to make the decision. Do you want to let yourself go and die or survive? And I made the words came in my mind, I will survive. The next film I was offered was a comedy.
Who are you?
I asked you first. Well, you know, the greater the actor, the star, the more fun and the easier it is. It really was just a piece of cake working with Cary Grant.
If you're waiting for the big finale, I'm sorry, this is all I do.
He had such a twinkle in his eye. He was so wicked.
Ooh, isn't it getting hot in here? Isn't it getting hot in here?
No, you mustn't move around now. No, come on, just...
Oh.
That's right, just lie quietly.
I bet you think I'm an iceberg.
You can see that if you were going through this with him, you would have a tough time not laughing.
We've lived in 11 countries. I can speak 7 languages. I'm double-jointed, and I know how to ride a camel.
I think I ruined a few takes because he made me laugh so much. I'm really angry that the public didn't go for it and didn't appreciate this new character he was playing. Of a bum.
If you think I'd want to get involved with an undisciplined, self-indulgent escapist like you...
Well, that's better than being a frustrated spinster who can't find a husband.
He could have gone on and on if this film had been a great success financially. He made one more film and that was it. He gave up. He thought, I'm too old, the public doesn't want to see me old. I got to give up. I decided 40 years ago I was French. I wanted to be French again. I wanted to be part of the French cinema, theater. So I came back to France. François Truffaut gave me a lovely part in his film.
Bertrand, vous ne m'avez pas vu dans l'entrée?
But there was no follow-up for some reason. He thought I was good in it, but the profession didn't open up to me.
Vous étiez tendre avec moi.
Oui, toi aussi, tu étais tendre avec moi. Seulement voilà, je n'ai plus le droit de vous toucher.
Truffaut said, I wish I had listened to him. He said, you can never get back. You can never come back. The only roles I was ever offered came from America or England. I worked on a lovely film called Funny Bones with Jerry Lewis. And I was given a small part in Chocolat with Johnny Depp.
Zesty.
And I even won an Emmy for my role in Law and Order.
Why are you lying?
You know it's true, Marty!
You swore you wouldn't say anything!
You grabbed that kitchen knife from the counter, you made me pull down my pants, and you raped me! So I kept thinking it'll happen. France will ask me to be part of the French scene. Life was empty. There was no phone calls, nothing to do. And I was just going to become an old lady waiting as graciously as possible for the end to happen. And I thought, that's not fun. I don't want that. I came to France in order to work with my country, for my country, but they wanted none of me. I should have left a long time ago. It took me about 2 years to decide because I was really embedded here. You know, all the paintings and the furniture and the books. Now I'm quite near the moment, and I'm strangely elated. I decided there's only one thing to do. I've got to get my ass out of this sofa and go. I'm so thrilled to be here in England, where I am appreciated. They're respectful, I could see the love and affection, and immediately it just does you so much good.
Hello. We're here to see the Countess.
Well, the minute I said I'm going back to England, I was offered this part.
We all reckoned the role of the Countess needed someone spectacular and special. And the casting directors turned to me and said, would you mind if we suggested your mother? And I said, well, no. I mean, she's always saying she wants to work in British TV, and why won't I find her a part? And here we have the part of an exotic European aristocrat. Maybe this will work.
Very still and quiet, please. And action.
Your principal function will be to read to me, as my eyes tie easily.
I know. Mine are the same.
Well, I hope not.
No, sorry. I was just trying to agree with you. I grew up watching Leslie's films, and An American in Paris was one of my favourite films when I was younger. And when I found out Leslie was playing the Countess, I was literally just like, oh my God.
So I am delighted to have you here as my companion.
Cut. Lovely. Very good. One more straight away. Lovely.
You'll notice that next to the Countess is a very familiar dog. And when my mother was cast, my mother asked if it would be all right to bring Chichi along. Clearly, our scriptwriter fell in love with him because in the next draft of the script, the Countess suddenly had another companion.
Like you, I'm a widow, and, well, I'm struggling. I wondered if you might have a spare frock for me.
I'm sure we can find something.
I tell you what.
He doesn't want to be there.
Okay, let's cut.
It just sounded like a definite no, didn't it? Just for me. No!
I hope this is all right.
Very good.
Yeah, he made me take down.
Yeah. Well, he started at a certain level and then he played with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
He's probably right.
Yeah. She likes to act. She wants to act. And this sort of job, and this is tough what she's doing here. You know, she gets up at 5 in the morning, makeup call 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Then she's working all day.
Okay.
It's not camera shy. It's tough for people of half her age, but she's a trooper and she wants to do it. So, yeah, there is something driving her.
I have been trained like a soldier, not to go to war, but to work as an artist, as an actress, and to, if I can't express myself that way, I just die.
There's a poignant line in your memoir. The best years of my life are over.
No.
You disagree with yourself now?
Yes.
You would like to argue with the author of your memoir?
Yeah. If I wrote that,
You did?
Yeah, it's not true.
Hand me that book. I've circled it. The best part of my life is over. Now is the time to reflect.
Okay, and I reflect that it's not over. I looked for joy. There were some dark moments in my life, of course, but I kept trying to find the solution, the light at the end of the black hole. That's the aim, that's what you have to do, is to try. Keep trying, keep trying. And it's never too late. I'm having very good times now. I find life absolutely wonderful. And I'm really so grateful for all the good things that have happened and that keep happening. Surprise, surprise.